Welcome to Game Devs Play Games, where we play games, talk game design, and today we are playing Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap.
Hello.
This is the new Wonder Boy.
The new.
And I've often talked about, at least behind the scenes, how I wish we played more old games and new games on the show, because we play a lot of indie titles, but I feel like it doesn't encompass all the game design things we could talk about.
Yeah.
And in this game, we're playing both an old game and a new game.
And there's even a little bit more to that than seems.
Yes.
But I'm sure many of you watching might already know.
So Wonder Boy is a cute little, well, maybe, I think it's cute.
I would immediately call it cute.
It's an adorable little adventure game. It was originally an NES title in 1995, 93, maybe 85.
It's 86.
Oh yeah, I guess by then the Super Nintendo was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause Super Nintendo was 93. Oh god.
Yeah, 86.
Ooh.
Zelda was 87.
Oh man. So Wonder Boy,
I think.
I'm gonna play Wonder Girl because she's way cooler.
Because fuck yeah, Wonder Girl.
Wonder Boy, I learned, was a contender for Mario.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was Sega's competitive piece.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which, I mean, Wonder Boy still kind of had a franchise built upon it. This is actually based off of Wonder Boy 3,
Oh,
The Dragon's Trap.
gotcha. Okay.
And this is a remake of that, but it's kind of rebranded as, like, the first.
yeah.
Which I think makes sense. I guess the reason the
I didn't
devs...
see that earlier.
Lizard Cube is the developer of this, by the way, which is not the original developer, obviously.
Yes.
I think the IP is held by Sega, maybe a couple of other people, because, you know, that's
I
what
think
happens.
it's Sega. I think so. But as you will see, we start off in the last dungeon. What's up with that, man?
Also, check out this.
Yeah, you can freely switch while you're playing between the old style and the new.
Which I think in the original, I guess I could be wrong, but I don't think in the original there was a Wonder Girl.
Well, there is a graphic here on this trusty little
really?
tablet
Oh, well,
that
maybe there is.
it looks like there's a Wonder Girl, but you know what? Actually, she's totally posed as the lady that he's supposed to save, because she's leaning on his shoulder like this. You know, yeah, because you know that's apparently the only place that'll. Anyway,
So, wow. Great
it's
start,
I know
Chris.
it's terrible.
So this
Oh, you
game
meant
is
that. I meant the
an
other thing.
action platformer kind of style game. Very similar to what you'd see out of a lot of NES titles or even Super Nintendo titles following that.
Yeah.
Um,
I gotta say, I love the animations of the main character and the enemies.
yeah, I mean, the new version, it's super fluid, right?
Oh yeah.
Like the old version, we get these little pixely, like,
Well, I mean,
and I'm sure this isn't even like
Well-
exactly the same as the old version.
yeah,
It's a little bit more fluid than it would have been in the original game.
yeah.
But that's just difference of hardware
I
ultimately.
mean, 1986. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Plus, I think we have shadows going on here, which I would be very surprised if that was a thing in the original. Or layering. Was there layering in the NES? I don't think you could go behind things, could you? Maybe you could.
In the NES, I honestly do not remember. Did you just go back to the start?
No. Oh, maybe I... No, I didn't die.
No, I mean after you.
But I mean, these layers, though.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, it is the start.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It just had you go back to the start because you tried. Oh, wait a minute. What?
What am I doing wrong?
See, when I played through this, it just kept going. I think you gotta go up.
I must. I thought I went up the first time, though.
Yeah,
But maybe
I thought
not.
you did too. What do you?
Bang.
Interesting. Well,
Oh, yeah. Weird. Okay, so I just can't go down. I must have taken another wrong turn?
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
I fell down
don't fall.
here.
Yeah, don't fall. Basically.
But yeah, I agree.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, fall down then. Yeah, fall down then.
Weird. So I know that the design of the game was kept as close to the original Wonder Boy design as possible, down to enemy behaviors, level design, all that jazz. Which is why they have the retro version too.
Yeah.
So the gameplay should be basically almost the same as the original concept.
Yeah.
So I guess when we critique kind of what they do with the level design, such as like these strange. Oh yeah, you're right. The strange level design choice of like having us go through this loopable environment. I'm going to operate under the assumption that that's how the original game worked.
Gotcha.
For at least the purposes of us discussing game design.
Okay.
So I do think it's kind of weird that they have us loop back, right? Like, that's kind of counterintuitive, right? Mostly because we don't understand we're doing something wrong until the choice is already made. And we pay the price of honestly just spending more time going back through things, right? I suppose if we come back to this dungeon later, we might understand it a bit more, because maybe we'll have gone through more of the dungeon at that point, right?
Or possibly the thing is, if we come back later, going the way that we did to have us loop back around, maybe that's just how it is right now, because of the event with this guy.
I see. Is he even really hurting me?
I don't actually think you can. Oh, he is. He is.
Wow. Our armor is really good, though.
You have the best armor on.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So they start us off in this like Metroid Prime-ish style. Well, I guess Super Metroid did it too, where you start off with all the like super powerful stuff, and then
Oh man, you really gotta like be perfect on this guy too.
Yeah, no joke.
You have no.
But if you get a
dang nice.
Yeah,
that's how you do it.
If you get a beat going, you can. Oh.
Yeah. This.
You are cursed.
I love the little curse ghost. He's so cute.
Oh, but I want to go pick up the coins.
Look at the dragon.
But I'm a cute little dragon.
You're a cute little dragon.
So we did kill him, but he cursed us. Interesting. I assumed that he would beat us, and then we would just like.
Well, Chris, it is called the Dragon's Curse.
It's Dragon's Trap.
The Dragon's Trap. Shit.
Boo boo. So the concept of this game is that we rotate between different characters on our adventure. So I think there's a Hawkman. I think there's some kind of water-dwelling guy. And there's actually a really good handful, which I wouldn't consider that a spoiler since they reveal all of that in the trailer for the game.
Yeah.
Which I encourage you guys to check out too, because it does a great job at selling the charm of this game. It's like the music and the aesthetic is just so beautiful and
really is
weirdly uplifting.
Oh hey, real quick, there's oh no, here move.
I'm just gonna
there.
hang out for a little bit.
You can click the right stick and it goes to retro.
Yeah, I didn't talk about that, but when I was scanning through this stuff, I clicked it.
Gotcha.
Which I think is super important too. It's interesting to me that they
It's so cute.
It's interesting to me that they don't like automatically rotate both.
Yeah.
Because that would make sense, right? But I guess in a weird way, if you prefer the retro sounds and music and you like the new aesthetic, it gives the player the opportunity to experience both. Which, I guess from a like design standpoint or like user experience standpoint, it doesn't hurt anything to give the player that variety of options. So I might as well.
Yeah.
And it's not even that much work, I imagine. Who knows, really?
As far as the sounds and music go, I can't imagine. I don't think they're using any sort of fancy middleware or anything. But if they are, they're probably just using Fmod if they're using one. Maybe.
I don't know.
And they just have it on
Fmod for like, I don't know, more
Fmod's
complex sound. Oh, I guess
you can use Fmod.
Fmod was originally made for car sounds, right? Or am I thinking of a different sound system? Like racing games with like shifting gears of cars and making a lot of.
I've never heard that.
Really?
I've never heard that before.
Unless I'm thinking of something else. I'm pretty sure it's Fmod though, because you talk about Fmod all the time.
Yes, but I've recently started using Wise, and I love it way more. It's much more powerful. But not every game needs to have a middleware audio engine in it. That's for damn sure.
You look funny. Your first shot is on me. Like, yeah, I'm a dragon. UI improvement is just like I would still have fun playing a game with these graphics, but just like it's so beautiful.
Yeah,
it's so nice looking.
It is.
I love that the animated characters have that nice like I don't know what it's called, but it's got that like shaky quality to it.
Yeah,
like rotating two different versions of the sketch to make it feel like it's kind of living and breathing and moving.
It reminds me of Ed and Eddie, that show. That's exactly how all their people were made.
It's what it is it's an old style of animation where with hand-drawn animation you'd get lots of like little differences like that, and it would read when you're actually...
Yeah, right here.
It would read that way, right? While you're actually watching the animation play. In games like this might actually be hand-drawn animated. It looks like it could be, actually. It probably is. But with modern animation techniques, it's not usually you don't get that as much, right? So what a lot of artists or animators will do is, nice, I get another heart.
Container.
So what a lot of artists will do is they'll mimic that, right?
Yeah.
They'll purposefully make their animations behave that way to kind of give it that living, breathing quality.
Right.
Which I think is super good. I'm really happy we're playing this, by the way.
Me too, man. This game is adorable.
Shout out to anyone that watched our little witness playthrough. If things go well, someone else is going to be joining him on that, but I got motion sick.
Yeah,
so
it's okay. We don't want Chris to throw up all over the microphone.
it got
really
bad.
only
By
worried
episode 3, it
We're
was
only really
like-
worried about the microphone, to be entirely honest. It's a liability issue. Well, I'm just kidding.
I mean, you
That doesn't
know.
make any sense. Liability issue.
Wow, with a face like yours, I'd be looking for an antidote right now.
I'm glad that's the same on the first entrance as well.
I love that he has an eye patch in the old version. Or she. I guess we don't really know.
It's a she. It's a fortune teller. For some reason, they're always ladies.
I guess that's kind of the trope.
Yeah.
Do I go in the well?
You go in the well.
I'm going in the well. Ooh, water levels.
Yeah.
Oh, and this was the
That
chest
was
we
the
saw
chest.
earlier.
Yeah. And
Although
for
it's
It's
closed.
closed now, and it'll...
Will it give me anything else?
No.
Oh, so I'll just like open it again. I wonder if it's because in the old version, maybe it just automatically closed because they didn't want to store that information.
Possibly.
Or like,
And they had to keep it that way because...
it could have been like the way that they rendered the sprite on screen.
They could have fixed it now.
Yeah, but much like I said, the developers wanted to be as true to the original as possible.
Yeah.
So I imagine they had that discussion of like, do we keep some of the design flaws in the game? Oh, I kind of wish I knew that was going to happen. Not that it's that far, but... So right off the bat, I think my biggest criticism is that there are a lot of things that happen that would be nice to get a little bit more of a heads up on.
Yeah.
Like the doors are a really good example, right? If we had some kind of icon that was like home, even on the door itself, it would read really clearly what's going to happen if I go through that door, right?
Because it was kind of far away, but I mean, I don't know, I kind of disagree. I think it's nice to not know.
I think to an extent, right? I don't think it's always necessary.
Yeah.
But even like in that starting zone, it would have been nice to know, like, I guess it would have kind of defeated the point of that level design. I would have rather have just, oh, I'm not dead. I would have rather have not had those paths that were the wrong way. So that I didn't like keep going through this loop.
Right.
Which I guess was the point of that design, right? Was that it was supposed to feel kind of labyrinthian. But I think for the very beginning of the game, that's kind of a weird choice, if that makes sense. Because at that point, like, you don't really know what's going on, so when the game starts behaving that way and, like, spitting you out in earlier parts of the level, you as the player don't necessarily understand what's going on. You just think that you're just playing the game, and you're seeing a lot of the same things over and over again until a friend points it out to you that you've been looping. So, I don't know. Things like that I think could have been a little bit more intuitive.
That's fair. Okay.
And I think it would have been okay without damaging the design, especially with the door graphic, if that makes sense.
Maybe have like a different art style for the door that depicts going home.
And that's kind of what I was getting at.
Okay.
Is that would be a very simple fix for just making a generally better user experience with the game.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of like a little sign, different door and a different door art. That'd be ideal.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
can
you can do
cancel
that.
their projectiles.
Yeah, because you're a dragon.
That's nice.
Because you're a dragon.
It does require a lot of precision, but I guess if you figure out these guys' movement behaviors and where they shoot, then that's probably pretty easy. So I have a lot of spells.
The annoying part is when that guy gets stuck on that door, if you knock him down.
Oh, I can see that. Whoa!
Yeah. There's only like one way to kill that thing too. But it requires using a spoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This guy?
Oh, I'm sorry, the other one over there. The other dude.
Oh, because
That
he's in
one.
a weird spot.
Yeah. Like only one way. The whole thing with like switching audio over between that between the 2D and this, or I'm sorry, the retro and the new, because it's both 2D. I don't know what I was saying there.
What is this?
It's basically just
It just shut up.
yeah, shut up. You'll see why.
Will I? Yeah.
Oh no, you have no life left.
Yeah, but...
Oh, you're good. You have 2 potions.
Whoa. Oh, I need the arrows for this son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
alright.
you fucked up.
How do I use my potions? Does it just auto
it just
use?
automatically does it.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
You got a heart anyway. Pretty much just the audio just kind of switches over to a different hierarchy of sound effects to play
Gotcha.
in the same kind of
Master Shield.
same kind of way.
Okay, so we have goblin armor and shield. What do we have here?
Stuff will start to, I think. What? What?
Maybe I already had maxed out whatever it was.
That's weird. Okay, when I was playing earlier, like there's just a bunch of stuff that shot out.
Wonder if that's a bug?
Did you just get a key? Is all? Looks like all you did was get a key.
Oh, maybe. Actually, here we go. I do have one key.
You have a key. Okay.
So yeah, maybe I got a key. I didn't spend a key.
Maybe that's just maybe keys are just an item that you can just get, regardless of where you are, and they can be used to open locked things. There's a few locked doors that I think you passed.
Yes, I think that's right.
Yes.
Okay, well I can't buy any of that stuff, so I'm outie. I want to see if I can get on that little block though.
Yeah, the little block.
That was inside that building. I don't know if it does anything, but... So it seems like the game probably hits a point in which it wants the player to grind to get money. Which, I guess the original design of Wonder Boy had like minor or light RPG mechanics in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of shows through the... through the items, like the equipment that you buy. And like, I guess, loosely, your money would sort of be representative of like experience, right? Because you use that to just buy better quality stuff. I think it's interesting. You don't see that in a lot of games like this. Okay, what? Do you think this will do it?
That'll do it.
Oh, well, I guess I'll find out. Yeah, it just auto targets.
Yeah,
That's nice.
it's pretty sweet. That's why I said earlier when I
Dang
was
it.
playing. Oh no.
Everything's fine.
Uh,
There goes a
use
potion.
a potion.
Whatever.
That's why I was saying earlier that lightning is just the best. See, this is the worst.
It's easy. Check this out.
Yeah, I mean it's just annoying. It's
It ain't nothing, Eddie.
okay, well if that's what you're
This
saying
guy
to
is
me,
here now.
yeah, I'm just saying.
The trick with the platforming in this is that it feels as though I never jump as high as I think that I will.
It's a little different. Also, you can jump a little differently every time. It feels.
What?
It feels like you can jump a little slower or faster if you mean to.
Like, if I hold down the jump button, I'll go a little faster and higher?
That's what it feels like.
I mean, that's pretty normal. Although, I guess that would be pretty different for most NES games. Ooh,
Yeah.
Bag of money. Well, now I can afford the goblin armor. You think I should just go back and get it?
Oh yeah, totally get the goblin armor. That stuff is actually really good.
I could use it. I've already wasted a potion, so...
Wasted a potion.
Wasted.
Wasted.
One other interesting bit is that the Dragon's Fire, if I spam it, it generally has a shorter range. I actually really like that.
I think it's a wonderful decision, just because it's dangerous to just spam. And the game doesn't want you to spam. They don't want you to spam, so they make it dangerous to do so. Nailed it.
I think the funny thing about it, too, is that it's probably a design byproduct of the NES console. Or maybe it was Sega.
Oh, this is Sega.
I think this was actually a Sega game.
This was Sega game. We've been calling it NES this entire time.
I mean, it's from that era, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of easy to confuse, and it feels so Nintendo
Yeah.
that I think it's just kind of, whoa, Okay, so is that the shield I had at the beginning of the game?
No, yours was blue.
Oh.
We got 2 seconds left.
Regardless, though,
Yeah.
I imagine that was a limitation of the Sega console, or maybe any of the other systems, because this was ported to a dozen systems.
Yeah.
So I wonder if like they couldn't generate more than a handful of particles on screen,
Sure.
and so if the player chose to spam fire, they had to destroy the one that was already generated
Yeah.
for sake of saving memory.
Yeah.
And instead, what it does is it creates this behavior that encourages players to not spam their attacks.
Yeah.
Which, so long as they build the surrounding content around that, I think can work to the game's benefit.
Mm-hmm.
I think the enemies don't really like work to or away from that at the moment, but I still think it leads to an interesting experience. But we can call the episode here and come back in the next episode.
Yeah.
Unlock some doors.
Yeah. Sorry, I just really don't want you to fall again.
You mean like that? Oh.
Oh, unlock some doors and see what's going on. Okay, cool. Well,
Yeah.
that's it for us then, guys. Crabs. We've got crabs.
Real quick, actually, before we end the episode, I want to talk about the level design here. I think that the way they structured this level was pretty smart.
Okay.
On our way in to this area, if we fall in the water, we still make progress. We get to move forward and kind of surpass the area that we failed in, right?
Yes.
On the way back, though, is where it actually becomes more challenging, because if we fail, then we actually backtrack.
We gotta backtrack and go around.
That's really smart, and it's a good use of reusing existing content, because it was all there. If we had done well, we would have just like been totally fine across that initial platform and never gone in the water.
Yeah.
That's a difficulty curve kind of thing in like the micro sense, but that's strong level design. I actually really like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. This is a bonus series, so there's no voting on this. Question of the day. Man, I guess, what do you think could be done to intuitively teach the player about the mechanics of the game? Or do you think that anything else needed to be done? Do you think it was totally successful the way it was?
Solid. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.